All right, it's day 2, headed into B block, or actually A squad this morning. We bowl at 8, but we got upgraded to a nice little spa suite out here at Silver Legacy. Pretty sweet. Nice little special king suite. For all those who gamble, you understand how we do this, but I don't recommend gambling because you can lose a lot of money. I, however, have not over the last month. Here I have lost money, but not not over the last couple of weeks before coming out here. But the cool thing here, auto blinds, kind of sweet. But the view is nice out too. You get to see all the buildings, everything out there. Pretty spectacular view. The mountains. Pretty cool.
A little rainy today, but it's day 2. World Series of Bowling, Scorpion day 2. We're sitting in 23rd, 6 games to go, cut to the top 24, 32 cash, so we're hoping to stay in the cut. Just gotta have another block just like I did yesterday, but I gotta eliminate that 167. Gotta get it to at least 190, or just make the right decisions and get it to 240. Screw it, why not, you know? So anyway, so we're heading in. I'll show you what we're working with today, and I'll show you the cross, and we'll show you some bowling. All right, today, this is what we got. This was the killer yesterday. That guy, first 4 games, we used her, and I said that guy and then called her her. Weird. Anyway, that guy we used for the first 4 games. They got a little squirrely once we had to jump to the high end. Today we start on, or once we jump to the low end, today we start on the high end, then we go straight to the low end. So it might be a little bit easier today because of making the jump earlier. Won't see as dramatic of a difference, but generally if I have to move left earlier, then we have this guy or this guy, will be pretty good. These ones were good later in the day, and this was the savior for last game to bowl 220 to get me back to 140 over. This one looked okay in spots, but it just was a little bit too clean. Might have to touch the surface a little bit more. And then that primal was okay. Again, a little bit sharper than what the Black Venom was down lane. So we might touch the surface of those a little bit. Definitely gonna take a 500 pad to that Black Hammer, freshen her up a little bit. But these 3 right here are the ones, if I have to play further left, get around that 15 to 17 range, because the urethane's not quite looking right, these are the balls that are going to do that very well. And then as I go left of that zone, then we have these 2 along with those 3. So that will be what we work with today. All right, heading into day 2. Day 1 went pretty well, honestly. I feel like I bowled fairly well, you know, just try to get rid of the 167. The 167 was not a very good game. Made the jump from the high end to the low end, and when I was using the urethane a little bit straighter, which you saw, as soon as I got to that low end, definitely hooked a lot. They hooked a lot more down on the low end, so have to keep that in mind. Today, for day 2, we start on the high end and then immediately make the jump to the low end. So that might be beneficial for me, because then I won't have to I won't be in the middle transition games to where I won't know whether I need to jump left or not, because I started that game yesterday where I bowled in game 5, I bowled 167. I threw the first shot and stuck, and I ended up going Brooklyn, just dead jammed it, went Brooklyn, it struck. So that's kind of unfortunate there, because I didn't get a good read on seeing that the ball was just overhooking, so I couldn't make a decision right away, so I had to throw another one. And then I threw another shot, and it went high at 3.6 or 3.610, and it hooked pretty fast. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can make a move. And I made a small move, because it's urethane, you usually don't have to make huge moves with those, but it's still overhooked in 3.6 again. So I made the spare, made one more bigger move, and then I washed out. I made the spare, but it washed out. So I'm like, okay, urethane's done, gotta go left. So I started to chase it really far left. I mean, it was literally a jump from standing on 19 with my feet to standing on 45, because everybody was already in there. After game 2, everybody jumped in there. And I was able to stay right with urethane, which again is what I'm hoping I'm able to do today. We'll see how many people use urethane and how many people stay further right today. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but we'll see. But if I do have to go left, like I said, I've got plenty of these bowling balls that looked pretty good. That Hysteria at the end looked great. Looked really good bowling 220 at the end. A couple of bad shots in the game, but made the spares, clean 220, not a big deal. Ended up 140 over, so we're sitting 23rd out of almost 200 bowlers, so not a bad block. Hoping to put another block up like that right now. We start at 9 o'clock, so that's my day one recap, and I will let you guys know how things go for day two. So we're just trying to keep ourselves in play. If we don't make this cut, no big deal. We're just trying to make ourselves be in good position for the World Championships. That's really the goal there. So daily cuts are just a bonus. So hopefully we get a bonus. If not, oh well, we're moving on to the World Championship. We'll move on to the next pattern tomorrow. So anyway, I'm out of here. We will see you guys for the recap for tomorrow. Well, that block didn't go as well as I had hoped. Bowled 40 over. Only got myself to 180 over overall. Not going to be good enough for the cut. I'm in good shape for the World Championships. I really just didn't want to have like a disastrous block. Had a hard time getting the ball going right for some reason. My body just didn't want to do it. My body did not want to throw it to the right. Started out okay because I was able to use the black hammer. Got 220, 230 the first two, and then had to make the jump to the other end and saw all the early friction again, and that was a little bit of a struggle trying to get the ball through the front. So I was able to grind out 180, and then I went to the next pair. Urethane looked okay to start, and kind of the same thing. Not as much hook in the front, but I just all of a sudden couldn't get the ball going to the right. And I kept jamming everything through the face. So bowled 190 there with a missed spare. So overall I missed 5 makeable spares this tournament. So I'm 180 over. 5 makeable spares is equivalent to what? It's probably going to be like between 60 and 70 pins. So I'm probably going to miss cashing by about that much. But overall, that's all right. 180 over going into tomorrow. We're all right. I guess I could talk a little bit about the balls I used. I did start with the black hammer, Pearl, and it looked really good. I didn't throw it great for 50 over the first two, but scores were lower, so I actually felt okay. Going in, once I moved left and got into like 5th arrow, because there is no small move. It's not like you go from playing straight up the lane to, you know, just jumping to like 10, 11, 12. No, you go from playing straight up the lane to jumping into 24, 25. Evoke Pearl, the Hysteria, a little slow. I had a stretch where I went stone 9, swish 7, wrap 10, back to back to back. So I switched out of that. Tried the red ball, the primal, a little bit, and it was a little bit too far down the lane. So the Evoke was a little early and slow. The primal was a little too late down the lane. So I went to the last game. I went to the Venom Shock, which actually rolled pretty well and went through the pins perfectly when I got it there. Unfortunately, I could not throw it to the right very well. Luckily for me, my ball reaction was good enough to where I could still strike a little bit. So I bowled 220 the last game to keep myself, 40 over for the block. So not an awful day. I'm okay with it. 180 over going in. If I do that every event, I'm probably in the World Championship soft. So not a bad start. I'm okay with it. I'm not upset. Didn't get any video of any shots. Maybe I'll go and get some video of a squat bowling a little bit later, but we'll see. So I'll see you guys later.